Hey YouTube, so I have some invasions with the Bastard Sword here. Now, have you ever wondered how it got its name or why you hardly ever see anyone use it in PvP? So the Bastard Sword doesn't actually belong to any specific weapon category, which is why it's called the Bastard Sword. So in Elden Ring it is classified as a great sword, but it's not actually a great sword, but it's not a straight sword either. So this was actually quite popular back in the day, apparently, the day being the Middle Ages. And what knights liked about it was it had a bit more power to it, obviously, than a straight sword, but you could still one-hand it, and you could two-hand it as well, and it was lighter than a great sword. So given that, you know, in theory, it's the best of both worlds between a straight sword and a great sword, why don't you see it that much in Elden Ring PvP? So I can't recall seeing anyone ever use it when I've been playing. And certainly if you watch other people do invasions, it's very rare, if at all, that you'll ever see the Bastard Sword in anyone's setup. So, you know, early game, you can kind of pick this up from the merchant in Weeping Peninsula. But if you want a great sword, just a bit further down the road, you've got Castle Morn, where you can get the Claymore, which has a lovely moveset, obviously, with the thrusting R2. If you're going for a strength build, you can run to Caelid and you can get the Gut Sword. Or if you really like straight swords, you can try and farm a Lordsworn straight sword in Limgrave. So this weapon, it really does get forgotten about. Now, I'm not going to pretend that it's a great weapon and it outclasses, you know, the Lordsworn straight sword or the Claymore or the Gut Sword, but it is solid. But like I say, it just seems to get forgotten about because it just doesn't quite have the moveset of those weapons. And like I say, it's just where it is in the game, it doesn't really make that much sense to use it in PvE, given the other options that you have available. Now, this is the first of two invasions you're going to see against these guys, so I'm trying to bait them out. I've turned up into their world, and I'm not going to run to both of them because I can see there's a wizard, and I can see that other player has got the Knight Rider glaive. So running into those two probably isn't going to be that sensible. So I'm just trying to taunt them now to see if they can aggro the PvE, which eventually they do. So this is a run level 125 strength build. I've got 54 strength, and then I have the usual talismans that you'd expect. So I've got Shard of Alexander to boost Sword Dance, which is the Ash of War. I've got Bull Goats for the poise. I've got the two-headed turtle talisman, the stamina recovery, and then I have the two-handed sword talisman as well, because I do use this two-handed quite a lot. Now, because it's a strength build, I do have enough faith to use some of the bestial incantations as well, and get a nice buff from Flame Gatling Strength as well. So there's the Phantom down. He did try and come out eventually, but yeah, taken out by the Chilling Mist. Anyway, GG. And now it's just me and the wizard. So he's got his Dark Moon Greatsword. Bit of PvE, and there you go, teamwork, and he's down. Anyway, GG mate. But you're going to see these guys again. So I invaded them shortly after, and here we are, the big wall, a big stone version of the Great Wall of China. So again, I'm trying to bait them to come out. I really should have just run to the other end straight away, but I think I was trying to be cute. Which isn't always a good idea. So I kind of have to run now, and I tried to get the jar cannon out to knock the host off the edge, but that wasn't happening. But you can see I'm getting murdered here by Stars of Ruin. I'm fat rolling. I need to get rid of the jar cannon, and it's time to run. So now it really is just a question: can I make it in time? And again, I tried to be cute. I really should have just kept on running. But that is going to give the host time to catch me up. Go. Bit more Stars of Ruin. And I have no problem with that host casting that multiple times, by the way. You know, I've turned up in their game. I'm trying to halt their progress. So if a host wants to spam Stars of Ruin, they are fully entitled to do that. I don't have a problem with that at all. So now it's just a question of, I'm actually out of flasks here. Can I use the PvE to my advantage? That's really what it's about now. I just managed to avoid getting poked there. So there we go. I'm dead. But it ain't over until it's over. Unfortunately for the host, he gets taken out by the big golem. GG. And here, I do like my little ambushes. Those of you who watch a few of my videos will know I really do like stealth invasions. Because, you know, when you're outnumbered, you do have to use every little advantage you can get hold of. So if that's using PvE, if it's just trying these cheeky little ambushes, using the stealth mechanics. So here you can actually see I don't have sword dance, I've got Horrorloser the Shaker, which is a bit of a me-mash of war, but it is quite fun when you can land it. I used to use this a lot actually before all the Ashes of War got nerfed in the, I think it was within the first 6 months the game was out, wasn't it? So, Bastard Sword, I'm not going to pretend it's better than the Claymore, it's not, but it's still viable. And what I do like to try and show with these little videos that I put out is that you don't need to use the most busted setups to win in PvP. You know, even at 125, which apparently is where all the best PvPers hang out. Don't think that's true based on my own experience. I think there's equally good and bad players at all levels. Why is the Phantom Bag in there? Screen says host vanquished. Got the job done though, even if I did die, but it's okay. And quite rare at 125, I get a nice little Storm Veil invasion as well. So I do have a 200 build, which is quite good because you catch people in New Game Plus, so you invade all over the map. And there we go. That is the Phantom down. And what has the host got? I think it's, yeah, there we go. It's Mulaney's Katana, isn't it? And I'm getting shredded, but that's okay because I remembered to level my vigor. There we go. Not quite land sword dance. Can we get them again? At least knock them out of the air. There we go. I think sometimes the running R1 is better than the running R2. I do think you kind of lose a bit of time with the way the R2 works, with the way it kind of swings around your body. There we go, the host is down, GG. And this was a nice little 2v2. Don't actually get that many of them. It doesn't seem to matter what rune level I invade at. When I do get them, it's usually in Liurnia, which I have to admit isn't my favourite place to invade. So when I normally get an invasion there, it's a solo host. There we go, they're both down, one each. You know, it's usually a solo host with a rune arc and the healing, and you just think, mate, just go to the Colosseum. If you want a deal, just go to the Colosseum. There we go. That's a Phantom down. And just me and the host, and it's another wizard. And they're using magic, and I really don't mind because I run some mage builds myself. I do really love sword dance though. I've always liked that, so I run it on my big boss cosplay on the Nagakiba, and it's just so fast. There we go. GG to the host. Very well played. And the blue, tragically, too late. But never mind. This was a bit of a cheeky one. I think the host was admiring the Phantom's drip there. Sorry guys, it was a bit rude, but hey, you know, it's an invasion, so there's no honour, I'm afraid. And here's the stats and gear. I hope you enjoyed the invasions. If you did and you want to leave me a like or a follow, that'll be awesome. And I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.